First order of business is approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Make a motion.
Motion by Frank, I second Randall, all four. All four. First thing on the agenda is that, to approve lieutenant's position for the jail using existing operating funds with a starting rate of $12.50, that's with no experience. And then approve a lieutenant position for the sheriff's department using existing deputy position funds. And it's also no experience, or this was two no experience on?
Yes, the
Sorry.
start rate,
Okay,
yes.
so, we've got a motion by Randall, got a second by Billy, any discussion? All four?
Yeah.
All four. Okay. Number, 4, approve general fund 101 amendment, number 1, and other capital projects fund 179 amendments. Everybody had a chance to look over it?
Yeah.
Is there any questions? If there's no questions, I'll
I'll make a
entertain
motion.
Motion by
Second.
Frank, got a second by Billy. All four?
Yeah. Yep.
Alright. We're down to number 5, let's give Mr., the fellow here with Upland Designs, you wanna introduce you to
This
the
is Kim
committee?
Chamberlain from Upland Design. I've been working with him a few months and drawing up some plans and asked him to come tonight to show the committee to try to get started on a building project.
How did you want me to work these minutes up? What did you say you need in the minutes?
But as long as when it says in it, you know, what, like if it went, something went to the whole county court, it needs to say in the minutes that
Okay.
it went, I mean,
Okay, I got you.
I mean, I mean, what you're
I know
doing,
what you want.
what you're doing is work, I mean, is working
I
out.
got it, alright. I know what you want.
Good evening, as Ben said, my name's Kim Chamberlain, I'm with Upland Design Group, and we're out of Crossville, we've been doing this around the Upper Cumberland region for 42, 41 years now. Not me that long, but the founding partner just retired, so I guess I'm the old guy in the office now anyway, so I've been with him for 28 years, so we do a lot of what we call county infrastructure projects just like this, whether it's school work, jail work, county buildings, whatever, that's kind of what our forte is, so. And we do an awful lot of work in rural counties, so we feel very at home, because being in Crossville, we're not in a real big city down there either, so we're glad to be here, glad to come and tell you a little bit about what we're doing. We've been working with Ben and the staff to come up with this design, looking at the piece of property, and I understand it's been purchased, so we feel we're ready to go when you guys are. But we have spent quite a bit of time with your staff going through what their needs might be. It's a process. What we have now is what we call schematic design. This kind of gets the rough things put together, the spaces and how they lay out, how we would use the site. And then from here, once we get that approval, we move on to what we do, the construction drawings, which everybody refers to as blueprints. That's sort of the ongoing process, and take us 60 to 90 days to get those things done. During that time, we come back and continue to work with the staff here, making sure we're getting their needs met, you know, where they need power, where they need data, things like that. So it's an ongoing process, so this is really just kind of the beginning step of it. So anyway, the site plan, I think y'all are probably familiar with where the property is. The building you see in white, the shape of it sits in the property, so it really has 2 front doors, the way it's on there. We're opening up to both sides, to East Broad up here, and you know your street better than I do, Main Street down here. So we're opening up on both sides. We've got parking. We're gonna have 2 entrances coming in. We know we need to stay off of the street on that side. TDOT's not gonna let us have entrances too close to there. So what we're proposing is two center entrances coming in and parking all the way around the building. We think we may very well end up having to have a little bit of detention at one end, so we may lose a few parking spaces down here in order to meet city requirements, so we take care of water drainage.
Now, this property comes up and joins another street, are we gonna use existing street here, or?
On this side, we've got McHenry Street over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not, at this point, we're saying stay off of that. I think again, so we get parking.
Both Main Streets.
Both main streets, we have our entrances off of there. We first started, we were looking at perhaps 4 entrances, but I don't think there's any way TDOT's gonna let us have entrances this close to McHenry Street. So that kind of pushed us back at that point. Let's just do 2, so you have one on either side. We end up with about 70, I think we counted about 76 parking spaces in this. Like I said, we may lose a few when we do some detention that'll more than likely have to be done. So it lays in very well. I think it gives us an opportunity to present to both streets well. And like I said, you really have 2 front doors, so it's kind of a unique site in that regard. So that's the overall. We're looking right now, we're proposing a partial basement underneath the middle of the building, place for archives. We think archives, you need a storage that's gonna be secure, and it just made sense. So The outline of the whole building is what you see here, but we're proposing just that much be the basement area. So 2 sets of stairs will come down to that, as well as an elevator, so you've got good access to it. Some additional general storage space, janitorial, and mechanical
The
space.
basement's gonna be.
Basement's right at 4,800.
4,800.
4,800, just below 5,000 square
Now,
feet.
are we still thinking about doing the archives there, or?
Yeah, like in that half where that big open
Yeah.
section's at.
You know, we're gonna have to, I got to think about it, we're gonna have to have them at where you're at, cause we got so many people coming in and looking at those.
And we do a lot of research trying to find commission minutes from years back. It'd be handy to have all of them right there in one spot.
See, we were thinking about leaving that out,
Okay.
starting, but we realize now that there's too many people visit those archives, we're gonna have to have them.
Well, it's inexpensive space as far as the basement. Obviously, we don't spend the money on the basement we normally would do any other part of the building.
Right.
Plus, it's secure down there, and that's the other thing with being archived, is something you wanna take care of, so we think it's important to put it, you know, start putting it up on upper floors, you get a bad storm in, or you get a roof leak, that's where it's gonna go first, so.
Access will be,
We'll have a set of stairs at either end. If you remember the main floor right above us.
Yeah.
You got an entrance here and an entrance there. The stairs going immediately down, and there'll also be an elevator to go down.
But no outside access.
No outside access to it. It truly is a basement, which is good. If it wasn't, if it was above grade partially, we get into what would be a 3-story building. 3-story building brings a fire marshal into it from the state, and we don't really need to go there unless there's a reason to. So it just adds another layer of complications, which usually translates into money. So,
Right.
so I think doing it this way, I think makes a very good solution. All right, main level, again, we've got our main entrances on either side coming in. The stairs are open, so what we're trying to do is promote the use of the stairs. So when you're coming into these spaces, we have an elevator in the building, but as you're going upstairs, you want to see the mayor, it's easy to duck into the stairs and get up there. So, lots of glass in these areas, open it up, so when people are in the stairwells, they feel like they're very safe and secure, rather than going into just a dark and closed stairs. So, I think that should work out very well. So, our areas that we've got register of deeds, coming in here, their main space coming in, their storage areas, their workroom, offices, little break room, and a toilet for them. Tax assessors, really kind of the same situation. You got their public in, a counter space to walk up, their area to take care of their clients, customers. An office, couple offices, their main map workroom, field office where a couple of their few people go out, need a place to come in to do some of their work in-house. Again, their little break room and a restroom to them. Then on the other side, county clerk, very similar arrangement with their walk-up counter, their office spaces in the back. Trustee's office, their service counter, and again, very similar. So the spaces work out really well. We've got a 12-foot main corridor going through here. So if you look out here, this is probably about 8 to 9 feet, I would guess, looking at it. So a little bit wider, and again, lots of glass coming in from either end, kind of a pleasant space, but not an overabundance of space.
is them doors between the trustee and the clerk here, county clerk?
No, it's the handicap, to go into the back, by the side of the counter.
Oh, that's a counter going around to the back, but no door between.
Oh, okay, I thought that was like a door.
No, it's just a little half-height door, so
Oh,
people
okay.
don't wander around behind the counter without being
So
invited.
we took,
It
they
is
had
like a
went,
door open.
they had went to all the offices, and I did too, and we showed them a couple of plans, and, you know, Peggy and Victoria liked the idea of the bank teller look in front, and, you know, it's hard to tell, every one of the offices are almost 800 square foot bigger than what we've got now. Up there where Peggy's at and Victoria's at, that front space for the public is almost as big as everything they've got put together right now, so it leave a lot of room for the public to come in. And, Kim's there in the register of deeds, you know, she's wanting the books separate where it was in a secure area. We talked about maybe having layered sheetrock or something there to have a fire barrier in that room.
Yeah, we can do that out of drywall, we can give an easy 2-hour rating on that, that's no problem at all.
So we'd have all those books. She's got roughly 500 books that she keeps up there, the big books and the smaller ones, and that would keep them in a secure area too. And where you come in the doors, it is a lot closer together than it is here to go all the way across this building to go to the offices.
In Victoria's office, how many people can we house in there without keep, you know, the overload we've been standing in the hallway? Is
Well,
it-
it's about 11 foot in front of the counter out to
So
the
you
wall
probably put 20 people there.
or more.
Oh,
Okay.
easy.
Okay, good. Cause see, right now, when we line up, they line all out here when it's time to, a lot of times.
Well, and that's what we looked at, having that, and they got 3 counters right together. Right now, there's 2, and you can't really see the other one. So it would put everybody where there would be room to get them in there.
And the work counters are set up so you've got, it's kind of a stand-up height like you go to the bank, but we also have a space that that would be ADA accessible, we've gotta have one down at a 30-inch height in order to meet the ADA regulations, so. We've got a set of restrooms at the front for men, set of restrooms at this side for the women, so got those split up, but, it worked in really well. Appreciate your staff's help and working with us and spending time with us, so I think we've gone through 3 or 4 iterations to get here, but, I think we're here, but again, we've still got work to do. We'll sit down with them and go further into more detail as we move into it. So, any questions on the first floor? First floor is right at 9,300 square feet.
He's talking about the ADA, and this building is not accessible.
Right.
We cannot make this building accessible to the handicapped public. The bathrooms, a lot of the stuff, and a lot of that's something we're gonna have to eventually do for the county anyway, that they've got in there incorporated. Because Peggy's and Victoria, we don't have counters that are ADA accessible there, and the bathrooms are not here, and,
Well, this building was built when, in the 40s?
47 on this end.
Yeah, so I think so.
Way before all of those regulations.
That's what I was gonna say.
Have you all been contacted by the state as far as upgrading?
Well, when the
county
election
facilities?
office was here, we did a lot, and it failed every time, and we have done some things, and the ramp out front we did, but, it's got hospital-sized doors in these rooms, but the bathrooms are about a foot wide, it looks
Yeah.
like, for the door. I
Yeah,
don't
they-
understand the way they,
We're helping a couple counties, I know Warren County right now, and Fentress County, we've been doing some studies for them, so the state's starting to look at some of those things. So, yeah, this building will be fully compliant, we don't do anything new, it's not. So.
and the accessibility, this street is not the best to get in and out, with school traffic, and there's no parking, and all that right there, like 70-something parking spots, that'd be just.
Second floor, basically same size, same footprint as what you see below. We've got our center towers at either end. We've got the women's restroom and the men's in the same location, so we've stacked plumbing to be efficient on that. Mayor's office coming in, reception area, waiting area for him, small conference room off of his office, and then his support offices around the side. We've got a few offices left over for a little bit of future growth that can be used for storage right now. A couple of restrooms back inside there. Payroll office here, so that has access as well. There's the main waiting area when folks come into the suite. Opposite side would be the overall building break room, just some small support kitchen facilities, and then a large meeting room that's about 1,500 square feet. Give you some idea. I think, Ben, you said that correlates to the.
That'll be about the size of the Chamber of Commerce meeting room. That meeting room we'll have will be that size right there in that.
Give you some idea then of what's there. And then, Veterans Affairs, a little suite in here, and then the Anti-Drug Coalition in the back here, so.
I thought we were gonna leave them over here,
Well,
all that.
and the drug court,
Well, I knew the court, but I
Yeah.
thought you would wanna keep the coalition as well.
well,
No
we
need to.
looked at having that room there. It'd be better if we could get everything we could out, cause the drug court could probably rent something.
Oh,
But I, what I thought I brought up to him in the future, we're under the 57 Act for budgeting. I look for, in the next 20 years, the state will make every county probably go to centralized financing. And if they do, we will have 4 extra offices that we can put the finance department in this building. And the drug coalition, I hope we keep that grant, but if we didn't, we'll have offices there we can use too for something else. Cause we'll have a few extra rooms that we could use, cause in the past, when we built, we didn't have enough room to start with, and we didn't have any room to grow into.
We've got a couple of your offices or storage areas here. We always like to have a storage area off a meeting room. You have your furniture, if you're gonna have, a lot of folding chairs, you're out for one kind of meeting, then you need tables for another. It's always nice to have a room to get those out of that space, so.
so, a building of this size, what's the longevity of it? Roughly 100 years, maybe?
We're
40
gonna
years,
build,
50 years?
we're gonna build it with a lot of masonry on the exterior, a lot of low maintenance. We're always very cautious about that, so, it's easily a 50, 60-year-old building in life. Now, you'll go through some things,
Sure.
your mechanical units are gonna wear out, the normal things, but, no, it's a 50, 60-year building without any problem.
But 1890 was the last time Overton County built a new county building.
Right.
So 128 years we've been in the courthouse. So, but, maybe we won't have to fix it for the next 100 years.
Right, but we want them to build it like.
Oh, yeah.
Way out, so we
Yeah.
have to do a lot, as long as it's, even modern, of course, we know technology changes rapidly every day, but the overall appearance.
LED lights, we talked about that.
Yeah, we don't do anything anymore, it's not LED lights, that's just a given. They're down now where their cost is pretty much in line with what we're looking for old fluorescent fixtures. And the old fluorescent fixtures you can't get parts and balance for, they're starting to die, so. It'll be a modern building, very energy efficient, well insulated, so all those things will be figured into what we're doing. So.
The occupancy cost will be significantly less than this building here is.
Right.
And again, this level, about 9,400 square feet to match what's on the lower level. Overall look of the building, this flip back, that's that's kind of what we have in mind for the overall look of the building. So something very traditional, lots of masonry.
Did you do the one in Albany that looks like that?
We did not.
There's one in Albany that looks like that.
You put,
Well,
That's what both sides of it look like.
both sides will look like that.
but the thing about the one in Allgood we talked about,
Oh,
it looks
okay.
like it's 2 stories, but it's not. In the center, it's all open and it's not but that's I don't know that this will be the footprint of the one in Allgood.
Yeah, the footprint's different down
I
there.
think it's a lot bigger, but, you know, when I started talking to him, we'd all y'all talked too about it, coming into town or going out of town to have you know, the building where both sides face the main road and everybody can see it coming in and out, it's hard to find this building, and people that's not from here people from here can't hardly find it, but, you know, to have it right in the middle of town, central located for the community center with where we're using it and all the parking it'll have there, I mean, I think that'll be a building this county would be proud of for years to come.
It's a great location, part of visibility, you're gonna know right where it is, you're gonna get to it, so.
You need a motion to move it to full court.
Well, it looks like here that.
Well, he may have a few more.
Well, I put together a quick cost estimate, this is something, obviously, we're early on in this, but I wanted everybody to be able to see, it's kind of what we think we're looking at dollar-wise, I think I've got enough copies here for.
Total square footage is, again, 18,000.
19,000 plus 4,000 something for the basement.
We're looking at roughly 18,000, almost 19,000 for the 2 floors, the basement's right at 4,800, so you're looking roughly around 23,000 square feet. We've plugged a cost in of about $250,000 for the site work, parking, all those things. The basement, we think is about an $80 a square foot cost, the main building, we think is about $200 a square foot cost. So we're looking roughly around an estimated cost of about $4.4 million for the building.
Are we pretty confident that we can lock it in at this price with, you know, the storms is happening.
With what the market is right now, I'm not confident of anything. I'm not confident it'll be down or it'll be up, I'm being honest with you.
That's when you say this.
That's correct.
Well, I know that, but.
I will say
you know,
this, I think if we were bidding it right now, it would be a high number. There is so much work out there right now, it's incredible. 36 years I've been doing this, I've never seen it this busy, and that's not just us, it's across the board.
Well, we don't have an open checkbook, so,
No,
I mean, that's the reason when we borrow the money, we need to make sure we got enough money to pay for what we're doing, and that's what I get to my point.
Well, I told Ben, we think we're probably about 90 days from being able to get the documents out on the streets for bid, usually leave about a 30-day bid period. Our goal would be that we would have this thing ready to start construction in the spring when the weather breaks. So, we tried to start it in December or January, they're just going to flung around in the mud anyway, so that's our target. So, this is our best estimate at this point. If you all can authorize us to move on, we'll go talk to a couple contractors and sort of get some numbers from them, they're better at putting numbers than we are. But like I said, we're giving you our best guesstimate at this point.
Anything else?
Of course, you know, we've, received a $1.7 million gift toward this, that's the main thing that got this started. So that'd put us under $3 million total to borrow if it comes in at this point, which, really lucky to have, you know, somebody wanna give us that much toward the building, so I know we all wouldn't be here if,
Right, but I mean, you know, if we start spring, it just makes me a little bit leery to see where we're gonna be at, price-wise on the square footage. That's the only thing.
well, we bid, the development district bid a building in Cookville, and it come in $30 a square foot less than that. But that is a single-story building, but when I've talked to the contractors too, everybody seems to think that that's a pretty good number that we looked at.
You've got some competitive people up here, you're fortunate to have that, I mean, a couple of the contractors you have, I know they're both aware of it, and they're both excited about it, so they'll be aggressive going after it.
I hope so.
You know, they start sort of planning their work, everybody kind of looks at the first of the year, what's our work gonna be? So I think the time we're putting down on the street to bid it is a good time to go do that. If they, you know, what are we gonna do for the next year, the next summer, so.
Do we need to put 5 and 6 together, or just do it all in 6, approve the design, cause 5, he just gave us a, you know, overview of where we're at, where we're going, so we don't really need a motion for 5, but we do for 6, right?
7.
6 and 7.
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
Got a motion by Frank, to move it on to the next step,
Yeah.
to the court for approval. I got a second by Randall. Any other discussion? Billy? Ford?
Good? Yeah.
Good?
Ford.
All right.
Yep.
Frank?
Yep.
Frank?
Yep.
All four? All four, okay.
Then too, and they'll be there Monday night at the full court meeting, But that, you know, that 1.7 million will save us over 2.5 million for it as interest and all on it, so that's, most counties don't have someone that donates like that to help get something like this going, and we're really lucky that we had that offer to us.
Sure.
To do that, so that's a total of $2 million that we've got donated toward this project, so, which will save us 2.6 or 2.7 million on interest and everything on it, so.
We'll get ready to bid in spring, you say, so.
Our goal would be to put it out and bid it in February, maybe late January, early February, so we're ready March as the weather starts to break, we're ready to start.
And give us time to get the building torn down and get all that.
And you've been doing this a long time, so
Been doing this a long
on
time.
with this, these storms on both below us and beside us, you think if the market will kind of stable off after the first year for us?
We typically see the storms have more of an effect on residential, we start seeing,
Okay.
that's usually what gets damaged more in these things, you start losing the
Alright.
houses, so you see drywall and wood become an issue, we won't have a lot of wood in this now, we will do drywall, a lot of the interior spaces, but the exterior walls are either gonna be all masonry or they'll be steel, so, again, it's, we've all been around a long time, just like I have, it's a hard market to guess.
Right.
But all I know right now, masonry is a difficult trade to find. Masons are in high demand. So you've got youngsters coming on, well, there's some good trades out there right now that are looking for people, and they make good money.
Any other questions for Upland? We'd like to thank you for being here tonight.
Appreciate it, nice to meet everybody, and been, like I said, been great to work with your staff, they've been very helpful, we're looking forward to continuing.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
We'll see you Monday night.
Any old or new business we need to talk about and stuff before we move?
I'd just like to say too, for everybody to think about before Monday night, Connie drawed up some numbers of how much debt service payments we had in 2014 to what we've got now, and we paid off, we're down half the payments of what we were 4 years ago, so any kind of payments on a 12-year note or bond will be less than we were paying 4 years ago, so this gift plus what we paid off, you know, when we sold the industrial park, we paid off notes. We borrowed money for the ice storm and paid off notes, and we've been paying off things for several years, and our bonds are gonna run out in 2024.
Yes.
And those bonds are for the, you know, the health department, they put them all together for a bond, and they put the ambulance service on a bond. So everything the county has as far as debt will be gone in 2024, which will alleviate any kind, of course, we're gonna be starting paying interest and principal in probably 2020 on this.
Correct.
So,
On this project, that which we'll be paying, so we're looking at blue state 20 though, too.
yes. But the debt service has been paid down so much, and we're looking at paying off the rural development loan, so we paid off enough that we will actually have less payments than we had 4 years ago, including a new building on it. So
So we'll
that's,
be able to get a good rate.
yes.
Too.
And I mean, like Connie and me both, and Connie's worked on trying to get everything, and you all have too, paid down as much as we could, and we've saved interest, and we've paid down enough things that we can do this project, not spread it out 40 years like it's been done in the past.
Yeah.
And basically 1979, the county got this gift to them, and they said they was gonna do it temporary till we started a new building, and 40 years later, we've not done it. But $2 million donation helps to start it.
All right, if we have no other business to entertain tonight, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Got one by Randall, second by Frank,
Yep.
all four.
Yep.
We are adjourned.
Thanks
Thank
for
y'all
listening to
for
this part
coming.
of it.
Thank you.